Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for March 20, 2024, bus conductor accused of stealing $343,000 from woman's bank account freed. A bus conductor accused of larceny was freed in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Tuesday following a no-case submission by his attorney. 37-year-old Damian Vassell of Spanish Town, St. Catherine, was answering to 17 counts of simple larceny and unauthorized access to data. When the matter came up in court, attorney at law Kemoy McAaron argued that there was no evidence on which his client could be found guilty. Presiding Judge Kahan Lamy agreed with the submission and told the accused he was free to go. The complainant had alleged that between May 1 and 10, 2022, Vassell withdrew $343,000 from her account without her knowledge or authorization. He made numerous court appearances and maintained his innocence throughout. Cop testifies a contractor killer revealed Collymore wanted him to take full blame. The alleged contractor killer in the murder of businesswoman Simone Campbell Collymore had reportedly told the police that her husband Omar Collymore was responsible for organizing her murder but wanted him to take the fall. I him set up him wife and now he want me to go down, and I know me alone involved, 33-year-old defendant Michael Adams is alleged to have said. A detective sergeant who was the sub-officer in charge at the Kingston Central Police Station in 2018 testified yesterday that the defendant Adams made the revelation during an interview at the Denham Town Police Station on January 30. Right now, me not hold nothing, cause me have a family to live for. The witness recalled being told by Adams before he made reference to Collymore after he was cautioned and informed of his rights to remain silent. According to the police witness, Adams was again cautioned and told that he needed to have his attorney present if he was making any incriminatory statement. However, Adams, the witness said, responded saying, "Me no need no lawyer, me I go talk to you one-on-one and tell you where go on. Now make me family them suffer for this." The officer said Adams later gave him the name of his lawyer before he ended his testimony. Adams is one of 3 men charged with Collymore for the January 2, 2018 murder of the 32-year-old entrepreneur and taxi driver Winston Corey Walters, 36. Walters had transported the mother of 2 home and was waiting outside her Forest Ridge apartment complex to be let inside when men rode up on bikes and sprayed the car with bullets from both sides through the front windows. Dwayne Pink and Shaquille Edwards are also charged for the double murder. Meanwhile, Adams' lawyer, Sanjay Smith, in his cross-examination of the detective sergeant, suggested that his client never made those utterances, but the witness maintained that he did. Smith further suggested that the officer did not have any pen and paper to record any information at the time of the interview, but the witness insisted that he had them in his possession. The witness also rejected a suggestion that the only information that Adams provided was the name of his lawyer. Earlier in the trial, one of the shooters, Wade Blackwood, testified that Adams was the contractor killer and was the one who would speak directly with the man who had ordered the hit. The confessed member of the Brook Valley Unruly Gang had also told the court that Adams was present with others when the gang leader told him that he would have to carry out the woman's murder as payment for a gun that the police had seized from his brother. Adams was also reportedly present, he said, when he was given a Glock firearm to carry out the hit. Blackwood later testified that he found out that Collymore was the man who had ordered the hit after Adams pointed him out when they were in a holding area at the Supreme Court. He also claimed that Collymore had approached him and told him to tell the court that it was his wife who had ordered a hit on him, but it backfired, resulting in her death. In tell me say when me go court, me must tell the judge or the court say him wife pay for kill him, and it turned the next way, Blackwood recalled. Asked by the prosecutor what he meant, he had answered that him wife pay for kill him and the deal never went right, and me turn around and kill her. Blackwood, who had pleaded guilty to the murders in 2021, is currently serving 2 life sentences and will be eligible for parole after 20 years. He was initially ordered to serve 35 years, but 15 years was shaved off his pre-parole sentence after he agreed to give evidence for the prosecution. The trial will continue today. Sole remaining defendant freed in 2021 airport cocaine smuggling case. The St. James Parish Court has upheld a no-case submission concerning the case of Indra Waite, who was accused of conspiring to smuggle over 11 kilograms of cocaine onto a Canada-bound flight in 2021, thereby freeing her of the charges which were laid against her. Waite, who was on trial in relation to the charges of possession of criminal property and aiding and abetting, and was represented by attorney Henry McCurdy, was freed following a ruling from presiding parish judge Sasha Marie Smith Ashley on Tuesday. In outlining her decision, Ashley cited inconsistencies and the lack of connectivity among the testimony given by the 5 prosecution witnesses in the case against the Waite, on whose behalf McCurdy had previously made the no-case submission. An officer came and testified that on the 29th of October 2021 at 6 p.m., she was part of a team of officers who took Miss Waite to an address on Salt Spring Road in St. James. Miss Waite took her to a room that she identified as hers, and from a closet she took $90,000 and said, "This is the rest of the money," said Ashley, reading from her notes in summing up the trial evidence. "I have $90,000 being handed over by Miss Waite. I have interviews, but only a record of one part of the interviews, and that's all I have. I have dots with absolutely no connecting lines. I have no clue what this case is about, and so I am duty-bound to say that the no-case submission must succeed," Ashley continued, before subsequently freeing Waite of the charges. According to the allegations in the case, on October 10, 2021, a bag with 11.4 kilograms of cocaine, valued at $88.1 million, was placed on board a Sunwing aircraft, which was scheduled to depart for Canada from the Saxor International Airport in Montego Bay. The cocaine was intercepted at the Toronto Pearson International Airport in Canada, and one person was arrested in that country in relation to the seizure. Waite, who was an airport supervisor at the time of her arrest, was charged alongside 3 other defendants, Belana Reed, Tavon Murray, and Romaine Kerr, in relation to the investigation into the cocaine seizure. Waite was the sole remaining defendant in the matter at the start of her trial on November 16, 2022, after the other 3 co-defendants were freed of their respective charges at the various points prior to that trial date. Murray, who was charged with a conspiracy to export cocaine, was freed at the start of the trial on November 16, 2022, after the prosecution dropped the conspiracy charge against all of the defendants. Kerr, who was charged with the possession of dealing in and attempting to export cocaine, was freed on July 4, 2023 due to the prosecution's inability to present a solid case against him, while Reed, who was charged for breaching the Civil Aviation Act, was freed on September 7, 2023 following a no-case submission. During the trial against Waite, one of the prosecution's police witnesses testified on October 3, 2023, and again on October 20 that year, that the defendant was interviewed on October 29, 2021, during which she gave a statement that contradicted previous information supplied to the officer on October 10 that year. Additionally, the prosecution attempted on October 3 and 20 to show a caution statement to the witness, but both attempts were overruled on the basis that there was nothing to indicate the witness was present at the time when the caution statement was completed by Waite. Company's Office introduces e-ticketing. The Company's Office of Jamaica has introduced an e-ticketing system to better facilitate compliance and address long wait times at its Kingston and St. Andrew office. The feature set for launch on March 25 is aimed at enhancing convenience and efficiency for customers, requiring flexibility and experiencing time constraints in conducting their business. According to a media release, customers will be able to access the platform via eticket.orcjamaica.com from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. Upon registration, customers will receive a virtual ticket and will be able to see their position in the queue, as well as be notified via SMS messages when their ticket number is called and again once the transaction is completed. The implementation of e-ticketing aligns with COJ's ongoing efforts to leverage technology to improve service delivery and customer satisfaction. By harnessing digital solutions, we aim to modernize our operations and optimize the client experience, ultimately contributing to Jamaica's economic growth and prosperity, company's office's CEO Shelley Leon said. The office further announced a special one-day Saturday opening on March 23 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., which will be by appointment only. It will offer customers an additional opportunity to register, renew or close their business names, as well as file annual returns and other company documents. Customers wishing to make a request for an appointment must send an email to smithsobahcs@orcjamaica.com by 4 p.m. on Thursday, March 21. Leon noted that these measures are among a suite of initiatives that the agency will embark on to address the growing demands of our customers, facilitate ease in voluntary compliance, and provide increased accessibility for our diverse and dynamic customer base. We are taking a consultative approach and remain committed to providing accessible and streamlined services to support the business community. Further, it is the mandate of the COJ to support the business environment reform agenda and to assist in the building of better businesses that have adequate, accurate, and up-to-date information on file. In February, the agency facilitated a special key stakeholder meeting to identify ways to improve its services, and there are plans to host additional meetings island-wide.